Hello and welcome to the 2024 Luxembourg Grand Prix at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. On pole by over a full second in wet conditions during qualifying, it's Emma Kickert. That's her third pole of the season and third of her career, in fact. So certainly in qualifying trim, she seems to be unbeatable at this stage. Right alongside her is the points leader and our winner last time out. It's Phillippe Nicolas, the defending world champion. And on row 2 we have Kickert's teammate, Edvard Holm. And fourth on the grid is Fajny Watson from MarchSixteen. On row 3 we have the first of the Euromotors. It's Marco Jancher. And alongside him will be the other MarchSixteen of Magda Szervánszky. We've got both the racing points on row 4. That's Takuma Taki out qualifying Amy Gauthier. On row 5, we've got Bradley Dagnall in the second Euromotor and Anu Voisu on the 10th position on the grid for Adriatica. Only about six tenths off of Dagnall's pace. That's a very impressive qualifying run by Voisu. We'll see if she can back that up in the race. On row 6, we've got Václav Valaš for Checkmate alongside Kalon. Very good qualifying performance by Lon in the factory Bentley, which does seem to be a bit behind its competitors in terms of outright pace, but certainly in the equalizing wet conditions, Lon definitely able to show his talent here. On row 7, we're seeing the second checkmate of Andrei Kremnitsky and the holiday of Humbert Moyen-Moutier, who was somehow qualified behind 4 W12s in the same car that his teammate got on the front row. It's a classic Humbert moment right there. On row 8, we're seeing Nathaniel Cameron for Jones alongside Akio Yamamura for the in the second of the Adriaticas. And on row 9, we've got Diego Alvarez Torrente in the second Jones and Malik Zidane in the lead Mecca. Alberto Caras qualified 19th for Yongwang, and alongside him is the quite impressive rookie so far this season, Aurora Summers for Peak Motorsport. Only about 0.04 of a second off the pace of Cara. Very good qualifying from Summers there. Row 11, we've got Naoki Shinjo, the second Mecha on the grid, and alongside him is Martin McFry for Foxdale, of course. Row 12, we've got Ben Fleet in the second Foxdale, and Lauren and our debutante in this race, replacing the band Pierre Saint Laurent, is Laurindo Coelho for Bentley. Coelho, of course, having a very long and unusual route to the ARWS here. I believe he first came to attention in the Race of Rejects, and then was picked up and signed by the Best in the World organization, and after many trials and tribulations, he's actually on the ARWS grid. We'll see if he can improve from that 24th starting position. That's a little bit disappointing in that Bentley. And on our final row of the grid, we've got Fu Wen in the second Yongwang and James Wilmington in the second Peak Motorsport car. So with that, the start of the race is just moments away. And just like in qualifying, it is raining here at the Nürburgring. Engines are fired up and we are just waiting for the lights to go out now. And And we are go. Emma Kickert with a good launch off the start there. Phillippe Nicolas holding second place. Edvard Holm in third. But Nicolas looking to the inside of Kickert into turn one. And the reigning champion takes the lead. We've had a bit of contact further back in the pack though. Have to have a quick look to see what happened there. Oh, that is, oh my goodness! That's Edvard Holm has lost his rear wing! It's been taken off by Fajny Watson.
That is not a good start to his race.
Just, I mean, you can't write this stuff. Anything bad that happens, it happens to Edvard Holm, it seems. The field there getting quite stacked up a bit further back, but it does look like most people have made it through without any damage. Just double checking through here. Yeah, it looks like just Edvard Holm has damage in that first corner incident.
The unluckiest driver in ARWS, without a doubt.
Absolutely. At least he still has his llama.
This is very true.
Meanwhile, up front, it is Phillippe Nicolas leading the race. Emma Kickert down to second. Marco Jancher up from 5th to 3rd at the start of this race. And another good start from Amy Gauthier, in fact. She's made it up to 4th position, weaving her way through the chaos at turn 1. Fajny Watson down to 5th off the start after taking off Holm's rear wing. It's Bradley Dagnall in 6th with Takuma Taki breathing all over his rear wing. Anu Voisu up to 8th on the start. Good start by her. Humbert Moimutier up to 9th. A good start for him as well. And Magda Szervánszky currently in the 10th position, trying to find a way past the Frenchman. That's Nicolas leading lap 1 already with a... Already they're gaining a huge gap over... Wait, what happened there? Amy Gauthier somehow gotten around Marco Jancher. Didn't quite catch how that happened. But that would explain a little bit the the chasm that's emerged between the 2nd and 3rd place cars early in this race. And Szervánszky there able to make the move on Moimutier for 9th position. Kalon up to 11th on the start. Poor start for Václav Mel. She seemed to have gotten a bit caught up in the on the outside line there. Got held up and is now down to 13th. Kremnitsky 14th. Torrente 15th. Kara up to 16th. Cameron 17th. Fleet 18th. Zidane 19th. Summers 20th. Coelho up to 21st. Shinjo 22nd, McFry 23rd, Wilmington 24th, and Fu Wen is 25th, second to last car running, only ahead of course, the ever luckless Edvard Holm. Watson now making a move on, that is on Marco Jancher, and I think also, yes, Takuma Taki seems to have gotten around Bradley Dagnall for 6th position, so not a good moment there for the Euromotor squad.
This is unacceptable.
Yeah, both of them in fact passed at the same corner. It does seem that they probably banked on a dry setup, I imagine, and they're a bit struggling to cope with these wet conditions.
The other motors are also very much built for straight line speed, which probably doesn't suit them in a track like this.
Yes. That's, again, is wet conditions, bit of a twisty track, not ideal conditions for them, but we'll see if they can actually finish a race this time.
Yes, they've had some reliability issues with the Ford project so far.
think I missed a overtake there. That is, in fact, Magda Szervánszky continuing to recover from her poor start, breezing past Anna Voizu into 8th position down the main straight. Up front, it is still Phillippe Nicolas, although Emma Kickert is not letting him get away. This is the pair of them, though, absolutely streaking away from the rest of the field. Over 5 seconds now is the margin from Nicolas to Amy Gauthier in 3rd place. I think we're expecting a 2 or 3 stop strategy in this race. Just trying to... Yeah, expecting your first stops about lap 10, so the wet tires not expected to hold up particularly well currently in this in these conditions. As Szervánszky there made a move on Bradley Dagnall for 7th position, the Hungarian continuing to make her way through the pack in these early conditions, really thriving in the wet, is Magda Szervánszky. From 10th to 7th in the last 3 laps, it's been, as I believe, Final Watson now starting to pressure Amy Gauthier for that 3rd position. Not quite able to pull out and make the move to turn 1. He'll have to bide his time and wait for later on in the lap. As, I think that is Humbert Moyamute as well has made a move on Voizu for 10th. 9th, sorry. I think that is Václav Malish, in fact, dropping back quite a ways here on this start. I think he dropped from about 11th to 13th on the start. Now he's down to 16th. This is not ideal for the Czech driver, although Edvard Holm really making hay on those fresh tires, trying to make up and hopefully actually finish a race for once. He is just set the fastest lap. We'll see now if Watson can make the move down here. We've already seen a couple of overtakes into this corner, but not quite. Gauthier just able to hang on, carrying enough straight line speed into there that Watson can't safely make the move. He's all over there, though, coming up to the chicane here, and I don't think there's anything Gauthier can do. Excellently well judged move by Fajny Watson, and he now takes 3rd position for MarchSixteen, and he'll see if he can catch down and start to pressure the leading duo of Phillippe Nicolas and Emma Kickert. Oh no, and that's Marco Jancher! Oh, the engine has absolutely gone up in flames. There's an oil leak on that car, and the rain here, not enough to put it out. Marco Jancher is out very early on again, once again, as the world once again is on fire. We
were talking earlier about whether or not Ira Motor would have progressed the reliability. That does not seem to have happened here.
Ooh, looks like Andrei Kramnitsky got it all wrong there at turn 1. He's locked it up. Doesn't seem to have lost himself a position, but that's given Akio Yamamura ahead of him a bit of breathing space there. Coelho really not making much progress here. This is quite disappointing from the Portuguese driver. Still mired amidst the Mugen Honda V8s and the Yongwang powered cars, which you would normally expect him to be able to breeze past given the significant power advantage he has. Of Of course, the rain is a bit of an equalizing factor here, but even then, it's... Well, you'd expect him to make up some sort of ground, but in fact, he seems to be pressured by Naoki Shinjo here more than anything. Oh no, a voicer was spun! I think this is at the chicane right at the end of the lap here. And just see exactly what happened to the lead Adriatica driver, having a superb race in the 9th position, but pushed herself
Probably
too hard, it seems, trying to chase the I-freeze, and now she's having to wait for the traffic to clear by. Oh my goodness, what?
Oh, that's not gone well.
Yeah, I mean, she's stuck in the middle of the track. I don't think there's anything she can do here. It looks like they didn't quite have the brake fully engaged there, and Voisu now back down into 25th position as Edvard Holm gets passed, and she will resume from the tail of the field.
I suspect she just locked up.
Yes.
When she was coming, just locked up, maybe aquaplaned, and that could have. She didn't crash at least.
Yeah, so
if nothing else,
it could be worse. It could be worse, definitely. She herself could attest to that. She's been one of the more unlucky drivers in the series. Certainly not to the extent of Edvard Holm, but
she won the first race, and that's been about it, really.
Basically, yes. Doesn't seem currently that Watson is able to close in particularly very much at all on Nicolas and Kickert. The gap between Nicolas and Watson now at 8 seconds, although he has put a couple seconds between himself and Amy Gauthier. Actually now Andrei Kremnitsky in 11th place, and yeah, this is now back to Edvard Holm, who is trying to recover from that early broken rear wing. Battling, who is that he's trying to overtake? Ooh, bit of a chop there. That was James Wilmington, in fact. But Holm has made it through, and now into 22nd place as he continues to try and make something out of this race. And that is very quickly made it past Martin McBrien into 21st place for the Danish driver. This is something of a home race for Holm, who is, of course, from Denmark himself, and this racetrack, the closest on the calendar to his home nation. Although I think the Danish fans here in support of him are probably quite outnumbered by the number of Dutch supporters here to support Emma Kickert, who is starting to lose ground to Phillippe Nicolas, in fact, in that battle for lead. She's now down to almost 2 seconds behind the leading Holiday.
Rumour has it that Lone Motor is interested in signing her for 2025. Whether she would jump at that opportunity is a completely different matter.
I mean, why would you want to go and drive for a Formula One team when you're arguably one of the most in the quickest ARWS car in the on the ARWS grid? Like Kickert.
This is just
fantastically quick in that car.
This is just what the Dutch press has been saying. And certainly trying to hype up a Dutch driver, a Dutch star at a Dutch team. You know how they are.
That's true, but like at the same time, I mean, Luxembourg put in bids for every Dutch driver, let's be fair. They've been pursuing Max
This is also
Verstappen for
true.
years on end to no avail.
They still are, last I heard.
Oh no, and is there a problem for Phillippe Nicolas? He seems to have lost the lead to Emma Kickert. What happened here? Oh no!
Something broke.
Is there an issue? There's a brake issue for Phillippe Nicolas. Can he get it back to the pits? He's not too far from the pit lane. If he could just get around the chicane here at the end of the lap, he should be able to make it. Indeed, Phillippe Nicolas will make it back to the pits. I think he's fine. Yeah, he should be able to make it from here. The holiday mechanics already ready in the pit box, ready to service him and see if they can fix this issue. This is effectively putting him onto a free stop strategy here, as seems he was planned to come in a little later in the race, in the window for a two-stop strategy.
Still, this could definitely be a lot worse.
Absolutely.
This is at least salvageable.
Yeah, he's down in resumed now in 8th position. So he's still very much in the fight for a very solid finish, even if
especially with attrition.
Ahead now.
Especially with attrition, with sufficient attrition, he could absolutely eke out a very serviceable result.
Absolutely. Whom now still continuing to move forward up to 15th place now. That's past Malik Sedan for that position, and now he's starting to attack the W12s. Having dispatched all of the V8s and i4 powered entries. Watson now is, with that issue for Nicola now within 6 seconds of the lead. We'll see now if he can start reeling in Emma Kickert. It wasn't looking too good for him earlier in the stint, but maybe he'll be able to make a bit of ground up here. Home now up to 14th place, still making up all the ground he lost earlier. Making the move on Václav Mališ for that position, 13. He's almost all the way through all this traffic, although still a significant ways behind Phillippe Nicolas, who also has had his share of issues early in this race. Nicolas now challenging Bradley Dagnall for 7th place. Does look like Humbert Moy-Moutier made a move around the Euromotor earlier in this race, but Nicolas, they're not able to make the move down into the Dunlop car. He'll need to gather himself back up and make a move just past the Schumacher S here. And now he makes the move, and there's really nothing Bradley Dagnall could do there, as Nicolas now surges ahead into 7th position. And now next up in his target sights is his teammate, Humbert Moy-Moutier. Amy Gauthier currently holding her own in that 3rd position, just a couple seconds ahead of her teammate Kumataki. seems to be being caught by Magda Szervánszky, although not particularly quickly. And I think that is, in fact, Edvard Holm there making a move on Nathaniel Cameron for 12th place. Cameron into the pits, making a very aggressive free stop strategy here for the young Brit. We'll see if it pays off for Jones. He has been towards the front of the W12 contingent, so he could well be making up the lap time to make that strategy work, but still a long way to go, of course. And that is the, the recovering Anu who is now just caught up to the back of James Wilmington for 22nd place, so her recovery in this race also seems to be going at a pace, as that is indeed Phillippe Nicolas making the move at the chicane on Humbert Moy-Moutier. Humbert there making it very easy on his teammate. We're all very, very aware of who the preferred driver in that stable is, and what Humbert Moy-Moutier's role is within the team, to an extent. And that's Holm there also making a move on Andrei Kremnitsky, who, similarly to Cameron just before him, ducks into and makes a pit stop, as does Akira Yamamura. So we're starting to see a lot of the free stoppers make their way into the pits here. Very silent pit guns here at the Adriatica team. Must be a new experimental setup they've got, as Yamamura now rejoins the fray right in the middle of the bunch of traffic. In fact, right ahead of Anu Foisu here. I think that may have been timed. I'm not entirely sure that went exactly to plan, actually, for Adriatica, as now both their drivers are getting in each other's way. But regardless, they're now running in 19th and 20th. Should be looking to make a bit of a move back forward here, as long as Yamamura doesn't run wide like that again, hopefully. Up front, it's still Emma Kickert, though, by nearly 7 full seconds over Final Watson, as Phillippe Nicolas now sets the fastest lap of the race. Trying to recover some of those lost points by taking home some bonus points here, as we're now seeing Foisu there asserting her authority within the team. She may have been delayed with that earlier spin, but very eager to prove herself the superior driver within the Adriatica stable. Seeing a few more people come into the pits here. It's Shinjo, Fleet, and in fact Foisu herself, so both the Adriaticas seem to be taking the aggressive free stop strategy approach here today. That's Amy Gauthier now ducking into the pits from third position. So the lead racing point on the racetrack in any case is now making her first pit stop of the race. See exactly where she comes out. There's a nice gap there between I think that's Bradley Dagnall and Kalon on the racetrack, so plenty of space for Gauthier to get those tires up to temperature and start putting in those fast times that she needs to make the free stop strategy work. That is James Wilmington here making a move on Martin McFry for 18th position. Good move there by Wilmington on McFry, who and he immediately comes into the pit. So I'm not entirely sure why he felt that was entirely necessary, but there you go.
Show of force.
That is Kremnitsky here making a move on Fuen. That is for 19th place. And into the pits comes Emma Kickert, so it's a free stop strategy as well for the race leader. So effectively free stop strategies between the two quickest cars in the early stages here of Phillippe Nicolas and Emma Kickert. This should hand the lead to Fajny Watson, who oh my goodness! That is exceptionally lucky here. Can they put that fire out on Fajny Watson's car? Indeed they can. He is in fact Swedish. So this hands the lead to Takumataki. But that was indeed a very lucky break there for Watson, who well could have seen his race end there and then if it wasn't for the I guess he's part Swedish in terms of being as well as being British and Polish.
Who knew?
Oh, Aurora Summers has gotten it all wrong here. Yeah, just overcooked it entirely there. Lost it on the, I think there must have been some standing water offline there. And she is now off in the gravel pit. Can she get it back on the track?
She could be a while getting out of this gravel trap.
She seems to be, not particularly aiming to get out of there.
No.
Well deep in that. Not entirely sure what the plan is. She needs to be careful she doesn't let the car stall out here.
Oh yeah.
Down to 25th.
That's her last place in the road now, isn't it?
Yes, with the well, we've only had the one retirement so far from Marko Jančar. Aside from that, we've not
surprisingly low attrition so far. Maybe the rain, maybe with the wet weather, the cars aren't being pushed as hard as they normally are.
So we got Taki leading here, but Szervánszky is closing in. Although now the Hungarian is now ducking into the pit, so she's also on the free stop strategy. That promotes Phillippe Nicolas now into second place. In fact, he's ahead of Emma Kickert. So despite that issue with the brake issue that caused him to have to pit, he's made up that time he lost to Emma Kickert by on the track with the fresh tires. Of course, he will have to now manage them with Kickert now having the advantage in tires for basically the remainder of this race, more or less. I mean, his Fajny Watson also is making progress after his pit stop. He's made it past Humbert Moutier and into 4th position. I think this is pretty important though for Phillippe Nicolas. He'll definitely want to get past Takumataki here pretty quickly before Emma Kickert catches them. I imagine she will be pretty rapid on those fresher tires. I think the ideal spot here. Oh no, not there. Oh, that's completely ruined his run as Phillippe Nicolas. And Takuma Taki will not have to defend for the chicane. And Nicolas will have to bide his time and hopefully get a shot at Taki into turn 1. Oh, I think we got another retirement. It's Lorindo Coelho. There's a loose wheel on the Bentley. Oh, that's a massive tragedy for the Portuguese driver. Was not particularly quick, but was definitely holding position at the very least. As this
has been a fairly disappointing debut for him.
And Phillippe
Hopefully
Nicolas
takes
the lead into turn 1. That was a critical move by Nicolas. He couldn't afford to lose too much more time because right behind them is Emma Kickert, and she has those fresher tires. Oh, someone else has spun. It's Nathaniel Cameron, and he's now way deep in the gravel. Speaking of deep in the gravel,
Did Aurora Summers ever get out? Did we check?
Yeah, Aurora Summers is out of the gravel, but Nathaniel Cameron has to try and reverse his way back out. There goes Wilmington. Now he has to wait for the leaders to come through here. Taki now really under pressure from Kickert for that second spot. Can Cameron get back on the track here? Well, not like that he can't. Anyway, let's look at something a bit more important. The battle for second place. I think the move here for Kickert is to just follow as closely as she can through the Schumacher S. And make her move into the Michelin curve. And indeed she does. That's Emma Kickert through to second place. Not far at all behind Phillippe Nicolas in the lead. Cameron is still in the gravel. What are you doing, man?
This is kind of catastrophic for his race ambitions.
Absolutely.
To put it very mildly, this is catastrophic.
In fact, the only car he's ahead of on track that's still running, at least, is Aurora Summers. He's still in the gravel, and where is Summers? Still ways behind. Well, what are you doing, Nate? Just drive it forward. You can get back on the track. It's easy. Voisu here. Oh!
That was
almost slipping
that was
off
a bit
the
of
track
bullying.
there.
That was a bit of bullying of Fleet by Voisu.
He's almost there! Nate! Come on!
I believe in you!
And indeed, here comes Aurora Summers, and he will take 23rd from Nathaniel Cameron!
There he goes! What
and
was
now
he
he finally
doing?
gets back on.
What was he doing? I think that might be reject of the race so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite possible that some of these cars are, some of these drivers, I should say, are very leery of being flagged for an unsafe rejoin.
Still no, come on, that was, I think that was a bit too much.
Indeed. That is Nicolas there putting a lap on James Wilmington. Last lap for Nicolas was 1:44.9. We'll see what this lap is. 1:45.5, obviously slowed down trying to get around the peak. But 3/10 quicker than Emma Kickert, which is quite impressive. And Takuma Taki now pits, so Taki on the two-stop strategy here. We'll see exactly where he comes out in the running order. Down in 8th. I think this is home coming through now, indeed. It is, and so Taki will now resume in 9th position. As Amy Gauthier has made her way past Bradley Dagnall, who I don't think is pitted yet. And Nate, what are you doing? Why is he just standing there? What are you doing?
Has he done it again? Oh, he's off again. This is...
He's just stopped.
Yeah, this is
the
bad.
car,
Has
there's
he
no
lost
problem with the car.
has he lost a lap now?
Oh, he's definitely lost a lap. He's in fact 2 laps down.
Okay, this is pretty inexcusable. This is pretty horrific. How many laps in are we again?
We're not at the 1/3 distance mark. This is lap 19.
Yeah, I was going to say being 2 laps down.
Look at that previous lap time.
Horrific.
4 minutes.
Oh my god, that's horrific. That is horrendous.
We call that abysmal dog shit.
Basically, yes. There's nothing else to describe it. Fortunately, Magda Szervánszky is here to save us with some with a nice overtake on Bradley Dagnall at the Dunlop car. Thank you, Magda. Meanwhile, with talented racing drivers who have decided to show up for this race, Kickert is 2.5 seconds behind Nicolas. Currently, I think both of them have had clear laps here. 1:45.4 for Nicolas, and it's a 1:45.7 for Kickert. So Nicolas does have the pace on Kickert currently. That's not what I was expecting. But they are closing in on some traffic here. We'll see if that hampers Nicolas more than Kickert. And that's Bradley Dagnall making his first pit stop of the race. Pretty bog standard strategy here, I think, for Dagnall. Uramoto were not really trying to push the boat out with him. I think that is... No, that's not for position. That is for position. That's Kaelon going past, who's, of course, Kaelon, the winner here last year, memorably in that 1-2 for Kama. Their only 1-2 in their entire existence. And, again, having a very solid run in 9th position. Obviously no real threat for the I3s, but well clear of the rest of the W12s, as we're seeing Malik Zidane and Diego Alvarez-Torrente. So those two also on the 2-stop strategy. Boizu here making the move on Pouen for 18th position, as Torrente comes out just ahead of her. Up front, Nicolas extended the lead to over 3 seconds now, and we've got Humbert Moyamutier in 4th position. And, like, not by dint of attrition. This is just how this race has gone so far. I believe that is, yeah, Magda Szervánszky definitely looks to be closing here in on Amy Gauthier for 5th position. I don't think the Frenchwoman has the pace at this stage of the race to hold off the Hungarian, who's definitely been showing her chops early in this season. She's been definitely one of the standout drivers, definitely one of the standout rookies even, and very much looking to hopefully take another podium here. Of course, she finished 2nd in Jarama, so we've still 42 laps to go. Definitely could equal or potentially even beat that mark here today. Although she'll need something to happen to Nicolas or Kickert for that to be the case. I think Szervánszky will probably want to make a move here at the chicane. Holding down in the slipstream of the racing point, right up her gearbox, and there goes Szervánszky into 5th position. And that puts Gauthier right in the path of Edvard Holm, who is, after that exceptionally unlucky start, is starting to move into the fray of this one. Oh, he thought about making a move there into turn 1, but a bit too late for that. I'll have to hope, well, he'll have to hope that he doesn't spin out like Kalon apparently just has. Yeah, just carry too much speed through there, and now he very quickly gets himself back on course. I think that's the veteran nature of one there, making itself known as we're seeing Václav Mališ make his way into the pit stop at perfectly at the 1/3 mark for him. Nicolas lead now. Oh my goodness, and that's Akira Yamamura also making it.
I think.
Making a spit.
Did they just lose? Did they just lose it on the curb?
Possibly. We'll have to look at the. No, they lost it.
The
way
aquaplane. The
right.
aquaplane. I think might either locked up or again it could have been an aquaplane and again.
Yeah, it's most likely, but Yamamura now rejoins the race. Not losing too much time there, fortunately. Kara now also in the pits for Yongwang. Boizu there going a lap down to the leader, Phillippe Nicolas. And that is Emma Kickert here. With 4 seconds behind Nicolas and 3 cars between them, as they're making their way through the battling V8s and Yongwangs. Sedan and I think that is, yes, Martin McFry there battling for a 16th position. Kickert very slickly making a move there around Sedan, but will want to get past McFry here quickly as well. And indeed she does. Into the Dunlop car. Nicolas there just getting around Alvarez Torrente. I think that is Akira Yamamura there just ahead of him as well. So, although past Yamamura, I don't think there's too much traffic. So once Nicolas gets around them, it should be more or less clear sailing for the current race leader. Meanwhile, back in 3rd, we've got Final Watson having a pretty solid run here, despite that bit of a dodgy start for him. He's holding his own in 3rd place. Zidane continues to try and attack and try to find a way past Martin McFry here. Can he make it move into the 1st corner here? And that is Phillippe Nicolas making his 2nd pit stop of the race.
That brings Kickert back into the race lead.
Indeed. And it's a pretty short middle stint here for Nicolas. Not a lot of fuel going into that car there. Holiday, I believe, might be trying to just try and keep Nicolas ahead on. Try and keep Nicolas ahead of Kicker on the racetrack and.
Put in a bunch of hot laps on the light fuel load and just hope for the best.
Exactly. As we're also seeing Edvard Holm into the pits. I believe this is his this is his first scheduled stop. Of course, 2nd after the and Amy Gauthier. Oh no, Amy Gauthier was having a pretty solid run here, but the transmission has given out on the racing point and.
Yeah, I don't think she's getting that back.
Oh, not a chance. She parks it in the in the gravel.
Mr. Story will not be impressed. I think I can already see him gesticulating on the pit wall.
Somebody else who will be gesticulating is whoever's in charge of Peak Motorsport, because Aurora Summers is spun again.
Oh, that's... She's probably a bit nervy after, let's be honest, disgracing herself earlier in the race.
Indeed, she's also fallen behind Emmanuel Cameron at this stage of the race. Kaelon now into the pits after spinning earlier, but should have I think he should have more or less enough of a margin to maintain that position. Standard service for the Bentley squad as he gets back out onto the track. Indeed, no, Andrei Kremnitsky has jumped ahead of the German here. That spin has definitely cost Kaelon at least the position on track, but I think Kremnitsky is on the free stop strategy. In fact, yes, he should be on the free stop strategy, so Lon still looks pretty set for that position currently. I think that is Szervánszky. Yeah, no, that is actually Humbert Moimutier now pitting for Holiday from 4th position. Again, 4th, just I mean, partially due to the pit stop strategies, but also like there's not been that much tradition, and yet he's still in 4th. I don't know what to say. This also looks like a short middle stint for Moimutier. Comes out right behind Edvard Holm. So Holmes jumped ahead of Moimutier in the pit stop sequence here. That'll be good news for the Simpson driver as he tries to make something out of this after that disastrous lap 1 incident. Did something happen here? I did just see the Adriatica swap positions. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. That's Emma
Team
Kickert,
orders?
Emma Kickert coming up to lap them. Fuisu here. Oh, she goes in way deep into that corner, but I think Yamamura there playing very nice with their teammate there.
They're one would wonder if the team bosses will be getting on the radio to the two drivers to avert any sort of collision.
Yes, but the problem there is by them being so tentative around each other, it's allowed Diego Alvarez Torrente to pounce and take 13th position. Good move there by the former Formula 1 world champion.
Is this for position with Kremnitsky?
No, this is the one of the
that's
heats.
slapping.
Yes. So Emma Kickert, now your race leader by 10 seconds over Final Watson. Phillippe Nicolas is only 14 behind though. That this middle stint could pay off very well for Holiday. Is Nicolas definitely putting in the quick laps at this stage of the race. So 1:45.8 on his previous lap. Kickert with a 1:50.3. And that is Kaelon making the move on Andrei Kremnitsky for 9th place. Lon definitely feeling it here in front of the home German fans here. This is also the closest race to Lon's home. Of course, we do have the German Grand Prix immediately following this race, but that's further south and Lon, of course, from the very north of Germany, so this is more his home race. Malish now also closing in on Kremnitsky for, that is for 10th place. Summers is also right behind them as well. I don't know if she's on pace with them, or she seems to be. She doesn't seem to be losing that much ground to the checkmates here, despite those two spins shaking her nerves. I think Summer's still showing she definitely has the outright pace to compete among the ARWS elite. And someone with the overtaking prowess to compete among the ARWS elite is Václav Mališ. Just a very nice move on his teammate there. Ooh, that's a late move from Kara, and he makes contact with Martin McFly!
Oh, that was very aggressive. One would wonder if stewards might be having a look at the merits of this after the fact.
Yes, that was a very late move from Kara. McFly had absolutely no, was practically already committed to the apex there, and Kara just got this OC anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I would expect that Kara will get a summons to the stewards' offices.
Oh, I think that's rattled McFly there, as he's gotten it all wrong midway through the stadium section here. It's put him at risk of being overtaken by his teammate Ben Fleet. Nicolas seems to have taken, again, some more time out of Kickert. So this is, at this phase of the race, it's looking very good for Phillippe Nicolas, but we'll see if he... We're still not yet at the halfway point. We'll have to see if he can close this out pace-wise. As Nicolas now hunting down Final Watson for second place on the road. Easily making it past Malik Zidane there. Now it's just the Adriatica of Akio Yamamura to make it past. It's a 1:44.7 for Nicolas on that previous lap. Oh my goodness, that is 2.5 seconds quicker than Final Watson. He's absolutely flying as Phillippe Nicolas. In the wet here at Nürburgring. And Nicolas now only, well, within 11 seconds of Emma Kickert, our race leader. Could Nicolas win 2 races on the bounce here? It's looking increasingly likely. That is Kickert there, still working her way through some of the traffic here. As Nicolas now all over the back of Final Watson for second place. We want to make this move sooner rather than later. And indeed does. Very decisive move there for Nicolas, and now he's on the... Now his sights are firmly set on the race leader, Emma Kickert. And it's another double DNF for Euromotor. It's a water leak for Bradley Dagnall. Oh, that's a shame for them.
Hildegard Shevchenko-Neumann looks frustrated on the pit wall, as do the rest of the Euromotor crew. This has not been the best start to the season.
Absolutely not.
Especially with the fact that they've had relatively serious ambitions for this season. To still not have a finish on the board is definitely starting to frustrate people.
Absolutely. I think a lot of the the car definitely looks quite quick. I think they've got the drivers, at least Marco Jancher, the driver, to really get some solid finishes for them. It's just a case of
They do have probably the least reliable package on the grid, though, and
absolutely that's exactly what I was going to say. Is again that unforced error of switching to the Ford power plants, and they still don't seem to be particularly reliable.
Not that the Koenigseggs are necessarily any better, but they had more luck with reliability last year, even with the Ford.
I mean, I think our motor's reliability record was actually better with the Koenigseggs than it has been with the
Ford. Yeah, it was, but the Ford even last year was better than the Ford this year. The Ford this year has been... They still have nothing to show for their efforts.
I mean, they won the last race, so, like... And, well, the top 4 cars currently running are all Fords. You'd expect at least one of them to bring it home. Nicolas now 8.5 seconds behind Kickert. We're in the window now for the second pit stop for Kickert. I think she'll want to bail out of this and get some fresh tires quickly, even if it does put her back in this this pack of traffic that the leaders seem to be pretty much constantly having to work their way through. But whatever she's doing right now, it's not working. They're going to have to do something different, because Nicolas is just carving chunks out of that lead. Oh, Malish there. Ooh, almost lost it there at the Dunlop car. Have another look at that now. Not really under pressure. I've just got it on the white line there. Lost a bit of traction, but kept it on the grey stuff. It's definitely showing the increasing maturity and experience of Václav Malish. I think this point last year he probably would have binned it. So he's definitely improving as a driver. Always good to see a youngster make their. Oh no! Humbert Moutier is out.
What happened to Moutier?
The engine has failed. Right on cue.
That's gone up in flames. That's gone up in flames. I don't think there's much you're doing about that.
Absolutely not. And that's after the sensational podium finish last time out. Humbert Moutier will not be finishing this race. And then the Kickert has spun!
Oh, This chicane has been lethal, all right.
Yes, I think
so many drivers have gone off here.
Yes, I think there's probably some drainage issues here that the track officials have to look at. But she just completely just lost it there, and this is going to hand the lead right to Phillippe Nicolas. And
he probably cannot believe his.
Oh no! That's taken out Final Watson.
Oh dear, this is...
Watching now as Phillippe Nicolas makes his way through. Again, I don't think Kickert was holding the brake there. And, Watson just with nowhere to go. And that just completely tears off the left front. And Watson is out of this one. Kremnitsky is back through. Diego versus Torrente pits with an electrical issue, it seemed. Kickert now resumes right ahead of all people, Watson's teammate, Magda Szervánszky.
I'd imagine Szervánszky in front or behind Szervánszky?
In front of Szervánszky.
Oh, right. A cry into the pits?
Yes, seen, Torrente in as well. Those are, right in the two-stop strategy. And after that unbecoming incident, Emma Kickert is now almost 16 full seconds behind Phillippe Nicolas. So, as long as Nicolas keeps it on the road, I think he's got this one.
Anything can happen at ARWS, and it usually does, especially with conditions as treacherous as they've been so far in this race.
Szervánszky there, I think, struggling a little bit with the traffic here. We'll have to see if she can close back in and do something about Emma Kickert here. Well, not now, because Szervánszky ducks into the pits for her second pit stop of the race. Oh my goodness! You couldn't make it up.
Unlucky. Oh, and for good measure, he crashes into one of the the abandoned Euromotor cars.
Yes, that is the remnants.
Typical Holm. Typical Holm look.
I know. You cannot make it up.
The poor guy. He cannot catch a break.
Absolutely not, and at this stage of the race, that's going to promote Kaelon into the top 5. But up front, it's looking all good for Phillippe Nicolas, now 17 full seconds ahead of Emma Kickert. Let's see now, if previous lap for Kickert was 1:47.1. I think she was dealing with traffic though. But I mean, it's all academic at this point. They both got only one. They both got the one stop to make here. It's going to take a Herculean effort for Kickert to make up for that spin. Actually, no. Kickert still has 2 stops to make, does she not? Yeah. She's due in any lap now. Meanwhile, quietly in 3rd position currently. With still just one more pit stop to make is Taki, who could very quietly sneak away with a podium for Racing Boy if he keeps it going. The Japanese driver, not very highly rated earlier in his career, but is definitely flourishing as an ARWS driver with Racing Boy here.
Shinjo Naoki has pit.
Indeed, that is Shinjo into the pits. That'll be the 2nd stop for Shinjo. Expected in one more time during the race. Almost looked like James Wilbington got it all wrong at the chicane there, but he didn't actually lose control. Oh, Lon there. Ooh, I think he might have gotten it a bit overcooked into the 2nd corner there, but he's got a safe margin to Václav Mališ, but not if he keeps making mistakes like that. Of course, he already spun earlier in this race, and Mališ not too far behind. I think, yeah, Mališ also with one more stop. Both these cars with one more stop to make, so Long does need to keep on it here. Someone we haven't seen a lot of during this race is Fu Wen for Yongguang, but he seems to be doing quite well for in this race, currently running ahead of McFry, Jinzhou, Wilmington, and of course Cameron and Summers, who are still miles behind everyone else after their disgraceful efforts, shall we say. But Fu here, definitely making a good, definitely continuing his solid breakout into. Oh my goodness! Something happened to Phillippe Nicolas. Oh my goodness! It's Phillippe Nicolas, the race leader, has spun.
And this is the second time a race leader has spun in this race.
Oh yeah, the kicker! Oh my goodness!
Oh!
Got it all wrong
She
there
nearly
as well.
overcooked it herself there.
She
Very
kept it on the track, but
dramatic
Nicolas needs
reversal.
to get back on this track very quickly.
Can someone check on that Marshall, please?
A very dramatic reversal of fortunes here at the Nürburgring.
And yes, Nicolas back out on the track, and I am hearing that the marshal there is absolutely fine. He just dived out of the way just in time. Not entirely sure why he was on the racetrack. We'll the officials here at the Nürburgring will have to have a look at that, how that happened, but fortunately nobody is hurt. As Voisu and Kranitsky make it their second pit stops of this race. Oh my goodness, he gets it all wrong again! Nicolas is he's just pushing too hard right now, I think. He needs to gather it back up because he's now 17, after being 17 seconds to the good over Kickert, he's now 17 seconds behind the Dutch woman.
I think he's probably losing his head here not after his earlier mistake.
Yeah. I think on the pit stop strategy, in fact, this actually, yeah, he needs to catch and pass Takuma Taki here because they're on the same pit stop strategy. They both got one more stop to make, and Kickert still needs to make 2 stops. So she'll come out behind Nicolas in all of this, but not by all that much. Nicolas does need to get his head back down and start closing back in on the racing point here, I think. This racing point, in fact, the only one left in the race, Takuma Taki. As that is Emma Kickert, the race leader, now ducking into the pits. This should put Taki now into the race lead. Kickert still needs to make one more pit stop here. So she still has work to do if she wants to pull this race win off. But it's not out of the question entirely. Although with Magda Szervánszky coming out ahead of her, that might complicate things because I believe Szervánszky also is on the freestyle strategy here. It's not that far, though, between Taki and Nicolas. Both of them running very similar lap times on that previous lap, though. Nicolas gonna have to try and pull something out to make up for that earlier spin. Cameron's now in for his second pit stop, showing anybody still particularly cares about how he's running, because he's really not in the thick of any kind of points fight here. And that is, yeah, Kickert now attacking Szervánszky for third place. This is a bit awkward. Oh my goodness, it's Szervánszky! Oh! Oh no! She's completely lost it there, just put herself on the grass while trying to lap the young Wang, and just completely got it all wrong. Now having to wait for the traffic to clear.
Should have just been more patient there.
Yeah, there was no need for her to push the issue there. Kickert probably would have found the way past anyway. She's been very rapid when she hasn't been spinning off, and has very fresh tires, of course, on her car. Gap between Taki and Nicola now 1.5 seconds. Yes, yeah, Nicola now able to close back in with the, now that they've gotten out of that, little, gaggle of traffic. They'll be looking to close in here on the racing point. Can he, get back out in front? You can see it corner by corner, that Holiday is just devouring the gap between himself and Taki. It won't be long now before he's in position to try and make a move here. If he's quick enough down the straight, he might want... No, probably not here. It'll probably be into turn 1. He'll try and make that move. Not quite close enough here. Now, right in the slipstream of Taki is Nicolas, pulls out to make the move, and Taki does not fight it too hard. He knows to finish first you must finish. And trying to make it pull a block off there was not really quite on. So, discretion, the better part of valor. Taki yields the lead to Phillippe Nicolas. And Emma Kickert is closing in on these two, though. She just put in a personal best on that previous lap, a 1:44.5. That is 1.4 seconds quicker than what Nicolas was just running. And almost 3 full seconds faster than Taki. Kickert is very much in this battle for the win. Someone we haven't really been talking about a lot in this race, though, is Malik Sadan, who has been quietly driving along is currently in 7th position, which is absolutely outstanding. We'll have to hope for his sake that the reliability woes on the second mecha don't strike again, because he's been having a very good race here. Malish, I think, had a bit of a moment there in turn 1, might have just overcooked it a bit, but hangs on to it for now. Nicolas, previous lap 1:45.4, Taki with a 1:48 flat, Kickert with a 1:44.6. She is closing the gap. There's another second she's taken out of Phillippe Nicolas. We still have a good 24 laps to go in this one, still not at the 2/3 distance mark. Nicolas, Taki, and Kickert all still to pit one more time in this race. we still have quite a lot of cars still running. It's still 19 cars running currently. That's, I can't remember.
I suspect the fact the cars are probably not being stressed as much might have something to do with it. If the lower speeds in the wet.
Yeah.
Not that this has been a.
Sorry.
Not that this has helped the likes of Euromotor, whose reliability has been as bad as ever here.
Yes.
At least at the previous race, they had the excuse they were taken out, or at least one of their cars was taken out. But
yes, but I mean, they've not been taking care of their tires with all the spins we've been seeing in this race. So
This is also true.
Taki just doesn't have the pace at this stage of the race. A little bit of a moment there at turn 1 himself there. And you can see in the background, Emma Kickert is closing in rapidly on the racing point, and she's taking another second out of Phillippe Nicolas in the battle for the lead here. Really taking advantage of the fresh tires is Kickert, as she's closing in corner by corner on the racing point of Taki. I don't think she'll be able to make the move on this lap, but maybe into turn 1 the next lap. Ooh, Taki had a bit of a moment there for the Schumacher S. That's basically erased the gap. It was 3 seconds at the start of this lap, and now Kickert is on his gearbox as they head down towards the chicane here at the end of the lap. Kickert lining up Taki to take a move. Oh, that was not the way to make a move at the chicane, Emma. I'm not entirely sure what you were thinking there. Still holds it right behind Taki coming out of the final corner. Taki gets on the power a little bit better there, but as they come down the main straightaway, Taki picks up the slipstream, in fact, off of the Peak Motorsport car, and holds on to second for another few corners at least. Sedan now into the pits. This is his second pit stop and final pit stop, in fact. See exactly where he comes back out in the running order. 12th. Yeah, he's got plenty of gap back to that young lane. He's should continue on in 12th. Oh my goodness, Emma Kickert has spun again! Oh, she just got too greedy with that throttle.
Yeah, put her foot down way too early, and well, that happened.
Just got frustrated being stuck behind the racing point of Taki. Can she get it going again? Yeah, she's kept the engine running. Here comes Magda Szervánszky through into 3rd place. This is costing Emma Kickert big time. Any chance of the win, I think, is almost certainly gone. Engine still running on the Simpson. Can she get it back out on track? Halfway there, I suppose. As we're seeing now, Phillippe Nicolas make his way into the pits for his final pit stop of the race. Kickert still holding it on the edge of the track here as Takuma Taki takes the lead. This is completely blown any chance left that Emma Kickert had of winning this race. And now she finally gets back on track. Not terribly far ahead of Kaylon. That's how much time she lost. Nearly a full lap. Kara in the pits here for Young Wang. Will come out behind his teammates here. Although I do believe Fu Wen still has to make his final pit stop. Indeed, will make it on this lap. I think just waiting to see exactly how everything shakes out. Oh my goodness, is somebody else spun? It's Diego Alvarez Torrente! Oh my goodness. Practically everybody seems to be getting it wrong. I don't think you can blame the drivers at this point. It's clearly an issue with the track drainage here at the Nürburgring, and Torrente struggling to get it back onto the track here. And now he does. Will resume in 11th place, just lost damage to Malik Zidane in the Mecca. In fact, Torrente still has to make one more pit stop, so with Zidane not expecting to make another pit stop, I think the Mecca driver could well finish ahead of Torrente here. That is Kara passing Wen, who's just about to ducked into the pits. Currently leading by 16 seconds is Takuma Taki, but he still needs to pit again. So the question for Racing Point is, when will they make that last pit stop? They'll want to get full advantage of the fresh tires here, but they won't want to give up too much ground to Phillippe Nicolas, and indeed they call him into the pits here. So 20 laps to go, Takuma Taki pits, and this should hand the lead directly back to Phillippe Nicolas. Following Taki into the pits is Václav Malyshin, the checkmate, and also Aurora Summers in the peak.
Aurora Summers is still nowhere after her earlier escapades, right?
Yeah, Nicolas, as predicted, threw into the lead, and Summers is still the last car running. Voice, despite that spin right at the start of the race, has managed to hold it onto the track for most of this race, and is now up into 6th place after Malish's pit stop, but she still needs to pit once more. Szervánszky is elevated into 2nd, still needs to make one more pit stop. Taki has made his final pit stop. We'll see now at the end of this lap exactly where he, what the gap is between himself and Phillippe Nicolas. I believe he's just made his final pit stop. Indeed, he has. Kremnitsky needs to make one more pit stop in 8th. And somebody's off at the first corner. Is it Ben Fleet? I think it might be Ben Fleet. It is Ben Fleet with a transmission failure right at the same point that Amy Gauthier had hers. And once again, Fleet's return to ARWS competition absolutely disastrous for the Brit here. He was actually running ahead of McFry there, so that's a big shame for him. As Cameron unlaps himself from Fu Wen. which should tell you exactly how Cameron's race has gone. What? What? What the? What?
This is not a battle for position. Why are they racing each other so aggressively?
I think Cameron might have been heeding the blue flags. I think Cameron might have been heeding the blue flags.
But he's also quicker. Is that it?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no!
This race is Nathaniel Cameron's personal nightmare. Oops. Did not mean to push that button.
Minor technical hitch.
In third place, we've got Kumataki now, 14.4 seconds behind race leader Phillippe Nicolas. Closing in rapidly on the MarchSixteen of Magda Szervánszky for second place. Question now is, can he make the most of those the couple of laps fresher tires he has on Nicolas and start closing in and make this battle for the win here? Kalon making his second and final pit stop. See exactly where he comes out. I believe Voisu in 6 still needs to make one more pit stop, so but that should be academic because I believe that's Long coming back out indeed into 5th position. Well clear of Voisu. Now all he has to do is keep it on the road practically, and he's got at least a 5th place finish in his bag. Taki now within a second, meanwhile, of Magda Szervánszky. He'll want to get past Szervánszky quickly here, but I'm not entirely sure that's going to be, well, I mean, Szervánszky needs to pit again. Taki's not under threat from Kickert behind at all, and he doesn't really seem to have the pace to challenge Nicolas either, so I'm not entirely sure this will work out for a challenge for the race win for Taki, unless, of course, Nicolas spins again. I have to say to Taki's credit, he is one of the few drivers, I think, who has actually not spun today, so definitely have to give him his flowers for that. As he lines up the Hungarian driver here into the Michelin corner, and Taki through into second position without too much fuss. But up front, it's still looking all good for Phillippe Nicolas. There's 17 laps to go.
It's definitely his to lose at this point.
Yes, it's a 1:45.2 on that lap. And Taki coming through now. Of course, he has had to make a move on Magda Szervánszky, so that will have delayed him a little bit, but 1:46 flat in any case.
Yeah, no, I don't think... No, Taki is... this race is... I don't... Oh, and again, look, with Voisu here, I think it's safe to say this race is not in Taki's hands.
Absolutely not. I mean, leaving aside moments like that, which just handed second right back to Szervánszky, he'd need to be a second a lap faster than Nicolas, and I just don't see that pace in the racing.
Yeah, no, it's Nicolas to lose. It's that simple.
Diego,
it's probably no, Oh,
Sir?
nah, never mind.
No, I was just saying Torrente coming into the pits here.
$8.5.
Pretty standard stuff for a free-stop strategy. Torrente will resume this race in, I think, will he beat out the Foxtail for Prix here? Only just. For 13th position, so it's not an ideal race it's turned out to be for the Jones pet duo. They are both still running, I suppose. Torrente, though, has a lot of work to do to make it through all this traffic. He just doesn't seem to have a lot of pace in that car, unfortunately. He doesn't. I don't think I've really seen him mix it up with the other W12s all that much. Aside from that one move he pulled on Akira Yamamura, that all seems to have been for basically nothing, because Yamamura is miles ahead at this stage. Though he did have that spin earlier. So actually still holding off Taki for a second place here. Spirited defense from the Hungarian, although again she does still have to pit, but she can practically make that stop whenever she likes. With that is 40 seconds between herself and Kickert, she doesn't really need to go all out here to try and defend that third position. Naki, I think, being a bit more circumspect, trying to attack Szervánszky this time. Of course, keeping in mind when he got it all wrong a couple of laps ago and just handed the position right back to her. Though I would have expected him to try and at least make a move at the chicane. Maybe he's just overcooked the tires or something. In any event, they're now over 20 seconds behind Phillippe Nicolas in the lead of this race. Taki here trying to make a last-second dive to the inside of Szervánszky, but bails out just in time to avoid hitting the Hungarian. And again, will continue his pursuit of second place. Oh no, there's Malik Zidane in the gravel at the Dunlop car. Oh my goodness, the Egyptian rookie was having a pretty solid run here and has just completely thrown it into the gravel. So it's Fry going through. Fuen here coming through. Cameron is coming through, but to unlap himself. And Nicolas comes by to put Zidane another lap down. Still trying to find his way out of the gravel there. As Wilmington is through. And Taki's still trying to find a way past Szervánszky for second here. Zidane is still in the gravel. We just have to hope he eventually finds his way out. Szervánszky is now actually pulling away a little bit from Taki. I think she must be coming close to the end of her stint here and is getting the benefit of a few low fuel laps here. Zidane now trying to get back onto the track. He's been out there for a lap now. There's Shinjo and Torrente going through again. Cries through. And here comes Stefano Cameron to actually pass him for a position. And Zidane is finally back out of there. Still ahead of Aurora Summers, but not ideal. What the what are you doing? What was that?
Did he just stop? And he's kind of fluffed.
Yeah, he got it a little leery out of the chicane there, but then he just like he caught it and decided no, actually, this is too fast for me. I need to stop. In any case, he gets back past Cameron for 16th place. Zidane has made his final pit stop, so I suppose that's something for Cameron to fight for, is to try and hunt down and pass Malik Zidane for 16th position. Now with about 11 and a half laps to go, Nicolas extended his lead to over 22 seconds, so again, as long as he avoids losing it entirely, I think he's more or less got this one. And Taki now is, I think, more or less given up the fight for second here. He knows Szervánszky will have to pit again. So there's nothing really to gain by trying to fight her for that second place. And Emma Kickert is a minute off the lead in a race which she could have won. Ooh. And indeed, that is Szervánszky and James Wilmington making their way into the pits in their final scheduled pit stops. So this will hand second place right to Taki, and Szervánszky should be safely back out in third place.
Yeah, and on the mention of Kicker, this very much will be a race of what could have been for her.
Yeah, she absolutely could have won this race, especially given Nicolas' brake issues and a couple of the incidents he's been in. It's well, it's
not worked out.
3 pole positions, and it looks like it'll be 3 successive failures to convert them. There's Boizu here. No, that's not for position. I thought that might have been Malish behind her, but she is expected to pit sometime soon as Yamamura has come in. Her teammate for service resumes in 10th place. I will say though, if Boizu can actually finish this race, That'll be something for her because she's been exceptionally unlucky with unreliability.
A 6th place is honestly would not be a bad outcome at all, considering where she was a few laps in.
Yes, yeah, I think she was the first person really to get it all wrong, and especially the chicane there.
I think she was down to 25th, and which was last on the road at a point. So to recover to 6th is, assuming she can bring that home, I don't think she'll complain about her results.
Certainly not the way. Basically, it's all gone since that win at Monaco. And Emma Kickert is in. Oh, she still needed to make one more pit stop. I thought she made her final pit stop, but in any case, Kickert is in to make that final pit stop. So the third place for Szervánszky is even more safe than we'd previously assumed. It's a bit of an awkward rejoin to the race for Emma Kickert, but no harm, no foul, I suppose. Although, we could be having a battle for position here before too long, because Kara and Yamamura are both fueled to the finish, and could well fight for 9th place here. Of course, we're still waiting the post-race outcome of Kara's meeting with the stewards for that contact with the Prix earlier, but I wouldn't anticipate anything to really come of that, because there was no major damage done to either car in the wake of all that. And Voisu here into the pits once again as someone... Oh no! Magda Szervánszky is out of the race!
Well, let's see what happened. What happened to Szervánszky here?
It's a loose wheel for
the wheel.
MarchSixteen, and she is out of the race.
I think I can see there Toto Wolff does not look happy on the pit wall.
Absolutely, that's.
I think he is just. I think he is just throwing
headset do to you, Toto?
I think Toto, I can see him there. I think he has broken his headset in anger.
Yes. What did that headset do to you, Toto? Incredibly, I think that's Gunther Steiner there, trying to be the voice of reason amongst the pits. That's oh dear!
That is the scenes in the MarchSixteen garage.
Scenes out in front of the race are all good for Phillippe Nicolas. He's now got almost half a minute on Takumataki for the race lead. And comes around now 9 laps to go for the reigning world champion. Is Shinjo now into the pits for his final pit stop. This will allow McFry through into 12th. It should allow Fu Wen through into 13th. Who's again, I'm actually fairly surprised by the Chinese rookie here. A long-time sports car veteran. Ran in LMP2 for a couple of years before coming into the Yongwing factory team, and I mean, of course he's no match for Alberto Cara, but very few drivers on this grid could be. So I think, all things considered, this has been a very worthy debut season, at least for these first 3 races for Fu Wen. Again, I think Fu is one of the very few people to have not actually spun in this race. So again, that's another mark in his favor. And on her way to perhaps the most despondent third place finish in her life is Emma Kickert, it looks like. Just put in her personal fastest lap as Martin McFly gets it all wrong. And he spins from 12th place.
What is he doing driving that far backwards? That's...
he gave 12th place to Fu Wen, but at least he didn't, like, just stop on the side of the track or just sit there for a lap in the gravel or something. Indeed, that's promoted Wen up in Fu Wen up into 11th place now. Very nice drive for Fu Wen. What are you doing? What are you doing, Malik Zidane? What are you doing? Is he just pulled over and just let Cameron through? Oh my god! What on earth was that?
I shall see again. This is not the first time was it Zidane who inexplicably stopped earlier?
In that, basically that same spot.
Ah. What is Zidane doing?
Doesn't matter what he's doing. Let's look at Phillippe Nicolas. Yeah, now nearly 32 seconds is the gap from Taki. Kickert is putting in quicker laps, but she's a minute and 20 off the pace, so she's basically locked on to third at best. Kalon with a, again, very solid run by Kalon. He did have that one spin at the chicane earlier, but got it righted pretty quickly, and has basically been leading the W12 contingent for this entire race. So a very solid run by Kalon. He's not going to doesn't look like he's going to repeat his sensational win here from last year, but regardless, this is probably Lon's best run, I would say, since that race. In fact, we're seeing now a potential battle for 12th place. That is Martin McFly under attack from Naoki Shinjo. Oh, late dive there by Shinjo. Oh!
Too late. He left it too late. No, that was never going to work.
No, that was never going to work. And Shinjo now still has to try and gather himself up. Try and get back past around Martin McFly for that 12th place.
He might have another go up here, though.
No, this isn't really much of an overtaking spot. I don't think the straight's not quite long enough to allow them to get a good run. Possibly into the Dunlop carriage. He is closing in on the Foxnail.
He's going for it.
And that gets it done. Naoki Shinjo into 12th place. What are you doing?
Did Kremnitsky go off?
I think Kremnitsky went off. Currently running in 7th place is the Slovak. What the hell was that?
I think his car, the way he turned there, I think something broke.
It must have been something broke. Can
you go to the onboard?
The throttle inputs just made no sense.
The steering input as well. It was like it was not. Yeah, something broke. Something had to have broken.
Yeah, I think it must have been a throttle failure for Kremnitsky, because he just couldn't keep it off the. But that's the second straight race, but now where Kremnitsky's car basically has failed and thrown him into the barriers.
Stuck throttle though, one of the faster parts in the track is not a pleasant way to go.
Well, fortunately, he had mostly slowed down for that first corner, so it wasn't as hard.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Yes. And that promotes Fu Wen into the top 10 in this race, although Naoki Shinjo is not too far behind the Chinese driver and is running a couple seconds a lap quicker, so probably will lose that position, but again, it's remarkable how well he's been running here. Trente. Well, Kara's lost what is now 7th to Yamamura. We didn't catch that overtake, but that's 1 second. Yeah, I don't think Torrente is going to be able to catch Kara for 8th place here. Oh my goodness, Phillippe.
Is he slacking off?
I think he slacked off there. He's just like... He's got this race on lockdown. It's not been his finest drive, and just took his
Yeah, no, there have certainly been better drives to victory in the past.
I mean, his drive in the previous race at Jarama was something to behold. It was one of his... arguably his best drive of his career to date, and although the record may show that he might win 2 races in a row here, but the difference in quality of his driving has been something to behold as well.
I don't think this could be described as a drive of his career.
Certainly not. Maybe one of the luckiest drives of his career, considering Emma Kickert has practically gifted him this win on the flat.
Yeah, I know. If Kickert wasn't disgracing himself even more, he would have had no business winning this.
And that's Zidane. No, that's getting lapped by Foizu there. Shinjo, previous lap was a personal best for Shinjo, 148.8. Yeah, Fu Wen just doesn't have anything left really on those tires. 3 laps left to go though. We're getting to the point where I mean, even then, like, I can't imagine he'd be able to defend with the overspeed of the mecha. But, you never know. Maybe he could pull a miracle off and hang on for that 10th place. Oh, no, she was 6th. 150.9, 149.3. That's not the quickest lap for Shinjo. Yeah, Shinjo is definitely catching Wen very quickly through here. I don't think there's much Fu can do to hold off the charging mecha driver. putting himself in perfect position to have a nice run down the back straight here into the chicane. It's all going to be about patience for Shinjo. And not trying to make a move there because there's just no room. Still,
He's probably going to have to wait till the first turn.
Yes. Again, that's one fortunate thing about this track layout is if you make a mistake there, there's another good overtaking spot very soon afterwards. And yes, he's got the good slipstream here.
He might have him before he even gets to the bend.
Yeah, it's
he
very
does.
academic. Shinjo takes 10th place.
Nathaniel Cameron. He has spent. This has been a familiar sight in this race.
There are no
Reject
words.
the race, slam dunk.
There are a few candidates who rejected the race.
I think at this stage it has to be Cameron.
Yeah, no, fair. There are a few.
This is a two-time ARWS race winner. He should not be making mistakes like that.
Yeah, I think there are a good few dishonorable mentions. Maybe that might be a better way of putting it. I think, yeah, no. In all fairness, I think Cameron has it locked down.
Cameron is actually the last car running right now.
Yeah, no,
miles
this has
behind
been
Summers even.
fairly disgrace. It's been a fairly humiliating performance from him.
Now 4 laps down, but
Yeah, no, this is dire.
it's going to be a lonely drive, I think, for the rest of this race for Phillippe Nicolas. Although, no, he is actually catching up to a couple of lap cars here, but it's just one more lap for him, and it's all over.
Now the last lap has begun.
On board with the reigning champion as he takes one more lap around the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. It's one of the peak cars ahead of Nicolas. That is Aurora Summers, in fact, in 15th place.
Now there's a driver who's had a day to forget.
Certainly, but Nicolas has in ways had a day to forget and a day to remember, because he's 38 seconds ahead of his closest challenger, now just half a lap away from his 13th career ARWS win. Not really pushing especially hard here now is Nicolas. He knows this win's in the bag. In fact, he's probably been a bit too laid back at multiple times during this race.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, when you get maximum points on offer, you take those however you can get them, and Phillippe Nicolas will absolutely take this one as he comes out of the final corner across the line, and Phillippe Nicolas has won the Luxembourg Grand Prix. It's been a very, very chaotic race here at the Nürburgring. Many cars spinning off and losing it in the rain conditions here. But Nicolas is the ultimate winner here. And Summers finishing 15th. Yamamura eventually hadn't wound up 7th. A solid 8th place for Alberto Cara for a young one. They'll be pleased with that. Diego Alvarez Torrente not able to catch up to Cara before the end of the race. He finishes 9th. Taki finally comes across the line, 40 seconds behind Nicolas to take 2nd place. Cameron, after probably the worst drive of his entire career, finishes 16th. Naoki Shinjo, after that late move on Fuwen, takes 10th place. A very good drive by Keilon sees him finish 4th. Solid drive again by Fuwen, he finishes 11th. Prix 12th. Kickert rounding the final corner now and completing the podium. Anu Voisu picks up a very nice top 5, very welcome top 5 for the Estonian. Václav Malish, very solid drive. In fact, I think Voisu must have passed Malish in the closing laps there. Malik Zidane had a good race going and then threw it off into the gravel. James Wilmington basically did nothing really this race, but he finishes 13th and he will take those points, I'm sure. And our retirements of the race. Andrei Kremnitsky with that late crash. Magda Szervánszky retiring with a loose wheel. She was in the fight for a podium finish there. Probably would have finished at least 3rd. No, she probably would have finished exactly 3rd because she was nowhere near Taki. Ben Fleet and Edvard Holm continue their reliability woes. Final Watson, oh yes, he crashed into Emma Kickert when the Dutch woman spun at the chicane. Tore off his front left wheel and he was done on the spot. Humbert Boy Moutier, of course, had his engine failure earlier on. Dagdal, Gautier, and Coelho and Jancher all with mechanical issues early in the race. As for the fastest laps in this one, it actually goes to Edvard Holm. So that'll be something for the Danish driver. To,
I don't think this will be much consolation for him, though.
No. Thinking about it, he could have actually gotten a podium here if his car had actually held together, but hey, 20 points are 20 points, and when you can't finish a race to save your life, you'll take the 20 points, I think.
I suppose. But still, I imagine he will be brewing another lost result.
Why are the Simpson engines Jetstars?
That's a...
Ford.
It's a branding from their title sponsor, Jetstar. They're Ford engines. That is Kickert with the 2nd fastest lap, just a shade slower than her teammate, which goes to show just how that Edvard Holm absolutely belongs on the ARWS grid, despite his sort of journeyman career to get to this point. Phillippe Nicolas rounds out, gets a couple extra points for the 3rd fastest lap, and as we've been seeing for most of the season, those 3 are significantly quicker than anybody else on the grid. And definitely a debut to forget for Laurindo Coelho, unfortunately, for the Portuguese driver. Hopefully he will get another opportunity somewhere else. But with that, the race is complete, and we will see you next time for the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. See you then!